Greetings, my beautiful lovelies, it's Emmy. Welcome back to another episode of Fruity Fruits, where I taste fruits that are fruity. Today's fruit is not all that fruity because it's pretty commonplace and well known all over the world, and it is the banana, which most of you know is actually not my favorite fruit. But today I'm going to be tasting the original banana, and it's called the Gros Michel, or in English, the Big Mike. In the 1950s, a blight called Panama disease wiped out the Gros Michel plantations. So they introduced the Cavendish variety of banana, which is the banana variety that we eat today. And the reason why they chose this variety is that it also grew well in similar soils as the Gros Michel. But apparently the Gros Michel has a completely different flavor. That's why when you taste candies like Laffy Taffy or banana flavored candies, it has a banana flavor that doesn't taste like bananas that we're used to, because it was based on the Gros Michel. So I was under the impression that the Big Mite was completely decimated, but not true. I got in touch with my friends over at Miami Fruit, and they sent me a huge sampler box of bananas. If you want to see that unboxing, I did a live unboxing, and I will put that video link down in the description. So today, I'm not only going to taste the Gros Michel, but a few other varieties as well. But because I have such a huge box of bananas, I figured I might as well cook a recipe as well. So I'm going to prepare the recipe first, and while it's cooking, I'll do the banana taste test. So the recipe I'm going to be tackling today comes from Sweden, and it's one that I've had written down for a long time, but because I don't have a great love for bananas, I've kind of been avoiding this one. But it's called the Flying Jacob, or in Swedish, it's called the Flygande Jakob. So legend has it this recipe was created and published in 1976 by Ove Jakobsen, or Jacobsen, and he worked for the air flight industry, hence the name the Flying Jacob. Now you have to kind of wonder why a dish like this would be popular in Sweden. Bananas are a tropical fruit. They're not native of Sweden. Why would this be so embraced? Well, according to an article I read in Atlas Obscura, this was a time of prosperity, increased living in Sweden, and so they were looking at different countries and different ingredients from different places internationally, including things like bananas, curry powder, things that were new or relatively new to Sweden. So a recipe like this, easy to put together, fast, containing a fruit that is very popular even till today. So I've got my oven preheated at 400 degrees, and now I've got a whole rotisserie chicken, and I'm going to shred it, removing the bones and the skin. My hands are impeccably clean. Thanks, Julia. So besides the chicken and the bananas in this dish, this is also going to contain peanuts. It's going to be topped with peanuts, which is really interesting to me. So this combination of bananas and peanuts reminds me a bit of my pizza experiments that I did using the Presto Pizzazz gadget maker. I tested some unusual pizza flavors. If you want to see that video, of course I will put the link down below. Alrighty, so now we're going to sprinkle this generously with some Italian seasoning. So this contains some basil and some oregano all over that. So I have not tasted these yet. It's a very cute banana, isn't it? This is the Pisang Raja. It smells great. So I'm going to cut it. Ooh, look at that color. Look, it's got kind of an orange color to it. How beautiful. And then place this into our casserole dish. I know that these bananas don't look all that attractive, but you're supposed to eat bananas when they have these little brown dots on them. See, it's perfect banana. Nothing's wrong with this banana whatsoever. I did notice that these seem to bruise a little bit easier than the Cavendish, but that's a perfect, wow, look at that color. That's the Gros Michel. Isn't that beautiful? It's kind of orange, very similar to the Pisang Raja. Oh man, I can't wait to taste these. Okay, now we're going to make the sauce that goes over our chicken and banana mixture. We're going to need this, and this is Heinz chili sauce. Have you ever used this before? I have not. I just found this at the grocery store on the very top shelf of the ketchup section. People have told me it's not the same as ketchup. It smells like ketchup. It's tomatoey, a little bit of spice. Anyways, we need 1 cup of that. A lot of people have asked me about this adjustable measuring cup. I will put a link down to my Amazon store. We'll have a link to many of the gadgets you see in the kitchen. Let's give this a taste. Oh, it's kind of similar to ketchup. It's much tangier, not as sweet. It's not spicy at all. I was expecting, since it's called chili sauce. It's a bit like cocktail sauce, but a little bit more concentrated. Tastes a little bit more of tomato paste. Not bad. All right, 1 cup of that. That's why I like this measuring cup. Look, it gets every drop out. Look at that. So satisfying. It's like a squeegee measuring cup. 3 cups of heavy cream. Yeah, I think this is what makes this dish delicious. I just got cream all over the place. Probably good 1/2 teaspoon of salt and pepper. Now we're gonna pour our lovely cream sauce right over top our bananas and chicken. Here we go. So now we're gonna pop this into a 400-degree oven and bake this for about 20 minutes. Everything is pretty much edible as it is, but we want it nice and hot. Okay, so while the Flying Jacob is cooking, let's go ahead and do the banana taste test. So I've got the bananas here. The first one I want to try, of course, is the Gros Michel. And I have to say, right off the bat, these are a lot smaller than I thought they'd be. The Cavendish bananas that we have now can be gigantic. In fact, I have one over here. So they're a little overripe, but just for comparison in terms of size, you can see that the Gros Michel is much smaller. I think we've grown accustomed to thinking that bananas shouldn't have any blemishes on them, but the little brown spots are indications of ripeness. This is actually when you're supposed to eat the banana, because when you open it up, it's perfect inside. Perfect. Not mushy, not brown, not bruised. Here's the Cavendish. Now, immediately the Cavendish is very aromatic. It smells just like the smell you think of when you think of bananas. So the Gros Michel, or the Big Mike, isn't actually all that big. And it smells differently than the Cavendish banana. Almost smells a little lemony. Yeah, I like it. And we cut it down the middle. You'll see that it has kind of an orange tinge to it, kind of a yellow, bright yellow tinge to it. If we compare that to a Cavendish banana, these are much paler in color. Itadakimasu. It's got a very nice flavor. It still tastes like a banana and it has that slimy texture, very similar to a regular banana that we all know. But it's got a little bit of a different bite to it. It's not as like mushy, it's just got more of a firmness to it. And it has that similar perfume of a banana, but it's not as strong in some respects. I like it. Maybe I'll come to like bananas. Does it taste like a Laffy Taffy candy? No, it doesn't. Now let's compare that with the Cavendish, or the typical supermarket banana. I'm glad we did a side by side. This one has a different texture. This is mushier and kind of fluffier in texture, not as kind of a plantainy, firmer bite as the Gros Michel. The Cavendish is also very perfumey, has that very strong, ripe flavor of banana. Also, the flavor of the Cavendish kind of lingers. I think that's sometimes what I have a problem with bananas, is that later on I'll be burping bananas and I'm not a huge fan of that. So yeah, the Cavendish I find actually has a stronger flavor than the Gros Michel and a softer, fluffier, mushier texture. Let's try a smaller variety, and this one's called the Mysore. Now let's cut this one in half. This one too has a little bit of yellow orange in it. When I cut into this, this has more of a firmer texture, more similar to the Gros Michel than the Cavendish. Right, let's give this one a taste. I like that one too. This one I feel like in terms of texture has the mouthfeel that's more of a cross between the Cavendish and the Gros Michel. Not as firm as the Gros Michel, but not as kind of mushy and soft as the Cavendish. The flavor is very nice. And similar to the Gros Michel, it has a little bit of tanginess to it, a little bit of acidity, and perfumey without being kind of cloying, like that. And this is called the Pisang Raja, about as fat around in diameter as a Cavendish, but much shorter. Ooh, this one too has a firmer feel to it, more like a sweet potato. It feels a little starchier. Look, again, with that beautiful color inside. This one has a little bit of fibrous texture to it and a very unique flavor. Not as floral and perfumey. Sweet, very sweet. But the texture has a little bit of fiber, kind of similar to, like, say, a sweet potato, Finally, I have this banana, and this is called the Goldfinger, and this was the largest banana that was offered in my variety pack. And immediately the skin feels drier. This banana doesn't have as much curve to it. And when I cut it, it looks a lot more like the Cavendish inside. But unlike the Cavendish, it doesn't feel slimy or mushy on the outside. That one actually has kind of a sour flavor to it. It's the tangiest of all the bananas, but I like having that tang. It's just not so overly sweet. So the interior feels very slimy and mucilaginous, while the outside remains more starchy. So you have this kind of combination of starchy bite with like slimy filling in the middle, which sounds terrible, but it's not. So here's the Flygande Jakob, or the Flying Jacob, straight out of the oven. We're gonna top this with some chopped bacon. Give a nice smokiness to things. Next, we're gonna add some roasted peanuts. Peanuts. Alrighty, so now for the big taste test. We're supposed to have the Flying Jacob with rice and some salad. You know, the sauce color kind of reminds me of a tikka masala, but this is not. This is chicken Flying Jacob with bananas, peanuts, and bacon. Wow. So let's make sure we get a bite with everything. So here's a little banana. Looks like it's softened up a bit. A little bit of chicken. And let me grab a peanut too. Alrighty, itadakimasu. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. The cream makes a beautiful, rich sauce. And in combination with the chili sauce, it makes it a little bit tangy. It makes it a little less rich. It's savory. And the bananas are like a blank canvas. They kind of just absorb all the flavors of the sauce. A little bit sweet. You've got the smoky bacon in there, which adds not only some smokiness, but some salt. And you've got chicken in there, which has been braised in this cream sauce. It's great. The peanuts too add a nice crunch, a richness, a nuttiness. And I love peanuts in savory applications. I think they just add a ton of flavor and richness. And this is another great example of that. And then you've got rice, which is just perfect for absorbing all of this cream sauce. It's so good. Alrighty, so there you have it. In my quest to find the Gros Michel, or the Big Mike banana, I have finally tasted the Flying Jacob, a casserole from Sweden that has bananas, chicken, peanuts, bacon, and cream in it. And I've come to the conclusion that it's absolutely delicious. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Oh, I also have a Cameo account. If you want me to send good wishes to a loved one or a friend, check out my Cameo account and I can do that for you. Alrighty, thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Bye!
Oh.